All right, and we're live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 36, I believe it is. I named this the Game of the Year Extravaganza of drinking games, and we have a huge show today. It's not just me and James. It's pretty much a reunion of old podcasts we used to do. So I got Devin. You might have
Woo!
remember him from. Didn't you guys do the Sekiro thing? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Nick is over here. How's it going, Nick?
Super de duper.
And we got Dames. I'm very excited for him to be on. We've been trying to get him on forever. So it's good to see.
Yeah,
All right.
it's good. It's good to be here.
Oh yeah. And yeah, like I said, we got a big show for you today. We're talking game of the year, and we're also talking game of the decade. But before we do all that, especially the people who aren't usually on the podcast, I'd like to ask Devin first, what you been playing?
What have I been playing? So I just beat a couple of games. So actually, the past couple of days, I haven't been playing anything at all because I've kind of been perusing the sales and trying to figure out what to buy to play next. Because like, there's this sizable gap between now and like the end of February where there's nothing I'm interested in like at all. And then after that, we all know that the world comes like to a screeching halt and everything is coming out and we're all going to be screwed.
Oh my god, my wallet is going to fucking hate.
Exactly. So right now I'm just kind of like taking a little bit of a breather, but I did do most recently I platinumed Jedi Fallen Order, and then the most recent was the Messenger on PlayStation 4, which was from the Switch.
Yeah, the Messenger is that one with the like the ninja. It's kind of
and it goes back between 8-bit and 16-bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a cool game.
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad I got it.
Did you get the DLC with it?
I did, but I didn't play it yet. You're talking about like Picnic Panic?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard it's really hard, which I'm going to go back to screw around with.
Cool. Awesome. Nick, what you been playing?
I also 100%ed Fallen Order, but I did it on Xbox. I tried to go through it again on PlayStation, but PlayStation's version sucks.
It really does.
It's so, I mean, it's still a good game, but I had also just beaten it, so it was like, I got burned out, so I'll come back to it later. But,
yeah, honestly, once was enough.
Yeah, it was, but I was like, oh, this was easy for me to do on Xbox. I can get a platinum out of it. And I was on the final third of it, maybe. I'll go back to it later, though, and try it out.
On PS4 also?
Yeah. So I made it through the first 3 planets. I 100%ed them. No, wait, Bogano, Xiphos, and Kashyyyk. Yeah, I 100%ed all 3 of those. I was about to head to Dathomir, but I just burned out. So instead, I just beat Pokemon Sword.
Nice.
After I said I beat it to you guys earlier this morning, I didn't realize there was a secondary story that happens after the first batch of credits.
Oh,
Yep.
So I beat that part and got my legendary, and that's it. Now it's just going around collecting other stuff, which I'm good for now. I don't know what I'm going to hit next. I just bought Sekiro again. I'm going to try and go through that again.
That's a really
because everyone compares it to Jedi Fallen Order, and since I like that, I'm wondering if now that I have a better grasp on some of the mechanics, maybe I'll do better.
Cool.
So that's next.
James, you're next.
So I also am playing Jedi Fallen Order, but I haven't finished it. And that's I'm also playing don't laugh at me, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
hell yeah.
I heard the
fun game on the side.
Actually, really.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of fun. And I also played Pokemon, but once I beat it, I kind of just didn't pick it back up, and it's been like about a couple of weeks.
Gotcha.
Now, I got a question.
Yeah.
How is Pokemon like my son? He's like within this last year, he like is fucking full force, fucking let's go Pokemon, and I'm debating whether I should get him Let's Go Pikachu or
Or
Sword
this
or
one.
Shield.
Right.
Yeah.
How
My son is 5. He has
Okay.
Sword. He's also
Okay.
autistic, and he's gotten through the first few gyms on his own.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, so yeah, there you go. Yeah,
It's a traditional Pokemon game. I mean, it's not
right. Yeah.
hard. It's just learning some of the mechanics and whatnot. But he doesn't care what they name him. So anytime it says nickname, he just spams letters. So all his Pokemon
Yeah,
have weird
for
letter
sure.
names.
No.
And he doesn't read any of it. He just goes through and kills stuff. I mean,
Okay.
it
'Cause
depends
I
on
was I was a
your
little
son's
worried
ability.
about the reading part, because my son, he's not like the best reader. Like he can do math, but he has a hard time reading.
Well, I
So
mean, it's all text based. So
Yeah, there is no voice. Yeah,
the
for
general
sure.
information is you're going to go from gym to gym and kill everything. Well, capture everything between each of them, and as long as
Okay.
they know how to, grind to a certain extent to stay above where the gym leaders are, it will have no issues. But I'm sure with you giving him basic understanding of what's going on, it shouldn't be hard, even for someone that doesn't read. My son can read a little bit, but he doesn't read
Yeah.
it. He just goes through and does his thing.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. All right. I actually picked up Need for Speed Heat. It was on sale. It's actually
Oh,
pretty
wow.
decent. It's not bad.
That's what they've been saying. Surprisingly.
It's not bad.
Really?
I definitely, I don't know if I would have paid a full 60 for it. I got it
You
for
said how much you paid for it?
like 35 maybe.
I got it.
Oh, that's really
I
good.
got that too. I got it for 30 used. I've played a little bit of it sporadic, but I haven't gotten into it. I kind of got sucked into Pokemon and
Well,
it's not
what did you
bad.
think of it? What did you think of it, Nick? The little that you tried?
It it's solid for someone that's not great at racing games like me.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Like I
very
mean,
arcade.
it's got the different skill levels, right? I'm thinking the right game. Yeah, it's got different skill levels. I play on easy because I suck at racing games. I just wanted to play it and see how it was. So, and it's something that I was looking into. When I'm done with it, I'm going to give it to my son, and he can just drive around in it.
Right.
It's got great graphics. The soundtrack isn't bad.
That's what I
gameplay is
want to
hard
hear.
to pick up. So
That's
And whenever I was on vacation, I was playing my brother's Switch, and I was whenever there was like downtime, and I was playing a lot of that Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle game.
Yeah.
and
This
by
guy.
the way, that's
dope,
on sale
dude.
for $15 right now instead of
I
$60.
know. I picked it up.
Sweet.
Where at?
It's on the Switch shop.
on the
Oh, man.
eShop. Yeah.
Like
Hey,
I'm considering grabbing that for my son, but it'll be hard because it's digital and he has access to it. So
yeah,
Oh,
it's a really
shit.
good game. It's like XCOM light. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly right.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Really?
yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
really fun, and I mean, it can be slightly challenging, I guess,
yeah.
but it really is. It's really easy. It's
Yeah.
XCOM light.
Yeah.
That's cool, actually.
Yeah, and there's like different weapons you unlock and characters you collect, and it's just a really neat game. I liked it. So whenever I get my Switch, that's definitely a game I'm picking up. Well, I already bought it. I was like, fuck it, it's on sale, I'm buying
This guy.
it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Oh wait, we didn't ask James. James, what you been playing?
Last night I bought Blood and Truth. It was actually like at a price point that I thought was fair. I played the demo and then I was like, fuck it, it's 50% off. Like, let's go.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that I have to sit down while I'm playing it. Like when
Yeah.
I play VR, I like to stand up, man, and like fucking move around and get all crazy and shit. But like
Yeah.
I can't do that with this game. But it's still a very good game. Like I played probably 2 hours straight.
Oh shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I came out of that thing like, oh my god, fucking sweating.
Yeah.
I was like drinking 40s while I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Like it was great.
Hell
Um,
yeah. Dude, the soundtrack in that game is so dope. Like whenever
Right?
shit starts hitting the fan in that game, like and the music
Dude.
comes up, it's like
Yes.
yeah, you're like
Yeah.
gunning people down. Fucking, it's so good.
And
Yeah.
at first I thought like, oh fuck, because it asks you to like calibrate, right, with your hands and shit. Like
hmm
grab here, holster here. And I
Yeah.
was like, I couldn't get over the fact that it kept asking me, okay, because I wanna grab ammo with my left hand, put in my
Yeah.
gun with my right hand.
Yeah.
But it kept asking me to holster on my left side.
Oh.
And I was like,
Weird.
what the fuck, dude? Like, I was getting seriously pissed. And then
Yeah.
once I started playing the game, I realized, oh shit, I can holster both sides.
There you go.
So it didn't really matter after that. Like, but besides that, you know, the usual Overwatch. I love that game. I'll never
Right.
stop playing. I'll never stop playing it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
as long, like I fucking my neighbors can probably hear me yelling yesterday. I was like punching the couch and shit. Like motherfucker, god damn it, you Moira, you gotta be healing.
Yeah.
You got it.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
and then I've been playing a lot of the Resident Evil 2 remake still. We're
Oh,
gonna
you've been
wait for
playing that? Such a fucking great game.
right?
Yeah,
And
very good game.
I was looking. I don't know if I should, but like Odyssey, Ass Creed Odyssey is like $14 right now.
Oh, on
And
Switch,
I'm
right?
like, Xbox.
Oh, that one.
So like, I'm so tempted to fucking buy it, but
Why not? You might as well.
Sink a lot of time in that game.
it
Is
looks
it-
cool.
Did you play it, Devin? Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
Me? No. I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a long time.
Yeah.
I played it on Xbox One, and I think I'm level 35, and then I burned. Because like I
Yeah.
can't do this. I'm gonna come back, and I'll come back to it.
Yeah, I played Origins for a bit, but I fell off of that. But like Odyssey looks pretty fucking cool for $15, you know?
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Yeah, I just don't want to spend like 80 hours in that game.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big game. It's a big
Definitely.
good game.
Added a lot to it, so that's just the base.
Pass.
This is the question I posed. Like, I still say, as a firm statement, Witcher 3 is the. Okay, this is kind of spoiling part of my list, but there hasn't been a game better than Witcher 3 since 2015.
Right? Like
That's
open
my
world.
statement right there. Would you
I
say
agree.
Assassin's Creed
agree.
Odyssey
I
is at the same caliber as something like Witcher 3?
Listen, I haven't even played it, and I can tell you it's not. And this is
Maybe
to clarify
You played
why
it.
it's.
But what were you saying?
I'll say the clear reason why it's not is because I really feel like there isn't a game that has surpassed Witcher in storytelling and character development
Yeah,
this generation.
yeah.
Just isn't.
Yeah.
Not even God of War.
No.
God of War was good, but it was very trying hard to be The Last of Us.
All right, The Last of Us.
All
But
right,
I'm
yeah,
talking
no.
about, like, I don't know. The Last of Us.
Actually, that even if Last of Us was good, and it is, it came out before The Witcher 3 anyway. So
Yeah, so I was saying, like, after any.
yeah.
The thing that puts Witcher 3 above even The Last of Us, though, is because of dialogue trees and choice.
Every
Yeah.
side quest feels
Right,
like
exactly.
a main quest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not
Exactly.
just a dumb fetch quest. You know, there's a story written about it. It's
Exactly.
yeah, it's one of the, and that's why I'm enjoying the fuck out of this Netflix show as well.
Me
It's
too.
good.
That was good.
Yeah, but you know, we were kind of talking about this. Let's start with the game of the year lists.
Sure.
Everybody has their own lists. I made like 5, and I got some honorable mentions. So let's see. How do we want to do this? Do we want to go around like each one time? Yeah,
Yeah, let's do
yeah,
a roundabout. Yeah.
yeah. Mine isn't structured as like. Well, I have like one that's like the obvious game of the year.
That's how I'm doing
And then
mine.
the other
Like,
ones are kind of so the last one I mentioned will be the game of the year, and then the other ones are like
yes,
some of the best. Okay, so I'll
you
go
could
ahead and
pretty much
start.
take my list and put it in any order all the way up to 1.
Right.
Okay.
Mine is kind of the same except for number 1. I would definitely put my number 1 like first, and then the rest are kind of like
Yes. Whatever, you know.
Okay.
They could go 2 is 5 and 5 is 3, you know, shit like that.
My
Actually-
first one.
You know, I don't know. Actually, I think mine do kind of go in order because you know what? I mostly play PlayStation, and I was like, you know what? What are my games of the year? And I came up with like 3. And I'm like, what else did I play? And I went back, and I'm like, I played a lot of games this year. Almost none of them came out this year.
All
So
right.
the ones I do have are kind of they go in an order.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and start. What do I want? Catherine Full Body.
Yeah, I knew.
This
you-
guy.
Cheating. This is kind of cheating, but
This guy.
I fucking love Catherine. It was such a good game when it first came out, and it was such a good time playing through it again. And they added so much new shit to it, and new dialogue, and new cutscenes, and everything. And it was just a fucking blast to go back into that game world. I hope one day we could see some sort of sequel or something along the same lines as that game, because it's like, I don't know, it's just one of those stories that like is so good.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a one of a kind. When it first came out,
Yeah,
one of a kind game. I would hope that they would want to do more with that IP. They probably won't.
yeah,
I mean, the animation and all the cutscenes
Right.
and just the story alone is great.
yeah. It's one of the, like, I don't know, I didn't even like think about that when I would probably put that in an honorable mention of games of the generation. You know what I mean? For sure. Or
Yeah,
I mean, not
definitely.
generation, but like the
I'd
decade.
also say that it's the definitive way to play Catherine as well.
Yeah, for sure. So
You get a
we'll
threesome
go
going.
around. We'll go around as I see it. Devin, what's your first game?
Sekiro. I mean, that's
Okay.
right up my alley. I've platinumed every FromSoft game at one point or another. This is just like a refinement and kind of like I wouldn't say an iteration, but I mean at its heart, it's FromSoft. I definitely do have my complaints with it, and out of all the FromSoft games, I think this is the weakest one by a wide margin.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like the combat was great, and I loved the precision. I loved like the emphasis on the parrying, but I feel like the enemy variety was really weak, and I feel like the level layout was fantastic, but the actual variety wasn't that great either, along with the enemies. And it just, I don't know, it was lacking that level of like creativity. And I mean, I know it was supposed to take place in Japan, it had all its roots there, but like it never got super weird. And I feel like that's what they do best is like crazy over the top nonsense and these grotesque monsters. And this was like more rooted in reality. And it definitely went outside of it, but I wish it went way farther outside of it.
Yeah, I could see that. Like when you look at Bloodborne
Right.
and like even the Souls games have some weird fucking shit in it. Like they really didn't go outside their, I don't know, comfort zone.
Yeah, they're their wheelhouse or whatever. Even that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
And that's
it was great, and the gameplay itself was super, super, super tight. So I mean, like that alone, like really kept me engaged. But for a FromSoft game, I wish it was weirder.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now you played Neo, right?
Yes.
If you were to pit those two together, who would come out on top?
Sekiro, because I feel like it made more sense. Whereas with Neo, like I never understood who I could and couldn't parry. Like it was
Right.
kind of arbitrary. Even though I absolutely adore, actually, I think Sekiro is a better game. I think I appreciate Neo more. Like it was more in depth, but like it really didn't do a good job of explaining those kind of things. And like then there's that whole system of like I don't even remember what it was called, but like leveling up your weapons and then you could like absorb them or whatever and break them down. Like I thought that was really cool, but again, that wasn't explained at all. So like I never really understood that. And the thing that I loved in Neo was like the different stances you could have that affected your like fighting style.
Yes.
Where Sekiro is more like timing based.
Yeah.
So like they're different, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that really gives a clear answer, but
I'm really stoked for Neo 2 to come out next year. I missed the whole beta that they had for it, unfortunately.
Me too.
That sucks. I'm sorry, guys.
Was it good?
Oh, did you like it?
No, I didn't play it actually.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not trying to gloat. I'm just saying I'm sorry.
I was like, what? Oh, that's cool. James, what's your first game you want to mention?
All right. So it's like a tie. I liked
your number
there can
one,
only
right?
be one.
It's like
I liked Jedi, right? Jedi's a dope ass game. It's probably the best Star Wars game that I've played in recent memory. But also Overwatch, man, that it has to be in my game of the year every year. You know this. I fucking love that game.
It's old.
It's old. Game of the decade, though. Come on.
But
if you want to call it game of the decade, great. Game of the year, get out.
Yes. Yeah. No. I don't care what anybody says.
This isn't your number one, is it? This is just
no. This is number 5.
Oh, okay.
Jedi was a great game, though. I played a shit ton of it. I only rented it, but I kept it a lot longer than I should have.
Right.
Because it was that good, you know. I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't have the money to throw $60 down on this right now, but I definitely have like $15 and some coupons for Redbox. So, but Jedi definitely, like, I liked how it was like Sekiro, but you did have like difficulty settings, right? Whereas Sekiro kicked the shit out of me. Every time I played it, it would kick the shit out of me, and I would get frustrated and just quit. Whereas Jedi, yeah, it frustrated me at some parts, but I was able to overcome it a lot easier than the From Software games. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jedi as number 5, but Overwatch is right there because that game's there every year. They update it so much that it's like a new game every year.
Boo, that's not true.
All right, Nick.
I don't care what you say, Devin.
That's fine.
Let's do number 5.
Number 5. Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Ooh.
Good choice.
Hey kids.
Go away.
He's like, leave.
I've seen you enough.
I
Get out.
am going to pee.
Sorry.
Let's hear some of your
So go ahead.
I haven't played any Fire Emblem games, so I'm interested in hearing.
Turn-based RPG, essentially. More of a strategy RPG because you move from grid to grid. So you have like let's see, I have like 6 to 8 people on the map. You move them around to different areas.
Is this like a Final Fantasy Tactics game?
Yeah, it's kind of like tactics.
Why hasn't anybody told me this?
Oh, you like tactics?
Fire
I
Emblem
love tactics.
for Nintendo Switch.
Oh, well, go get Fire Emblem.
Try it. But yeah, I put about 40 hours into it. I still have more left to go, but
I loved it. It
we
was
had a
so
bunch of
good.
stuff hit at once, so I kind of got sidetracked. But solid gameplay, good story. I like the sounds and the music on it. It's not like anything really special or anything. It just kind of fits the mood. I've played it as the what was it? The Golden Lions, the one with the female empress. You can win other people over to your house. You can teach them different things to give them boosts and level them into different areas. You can choose if you want to be a mage or healer, all kinds of stuff.
Is that
A large list of.
is it a
stuff you can do.
turn-based game?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
okay.
essentially, there is a big grid map, all right, with different squares. Of course, it's not just a straight square where you're going back and forth on it. It literally is a map where you can go through, and there's walls and doors and stuff like that. As you go, there's enemies. You can choose to go at them, or they will try and come at you.
Yeah, but you can go around them also.
Yeah,
choose
and-
not to
Well, I
fight them.
mean, you could go around them
You
if
could,
the map lets you do that.
yeah.
I
In
guess
some
yeah.
instances, the only pathway forward is through them.
Through them, yeah.
So,
Okay.
and the other thing that matters is which direction you hit them at. So
Hit them
if
at,
you
yeah.
hit on, or you're hitting them on the side, or if they come at you from the side.
Interesting.
It makes a difference that way. If you have different people standing next to each other, they might do a combo with each other.
And their heads will be stronger.
Yeah. You make relationships stronger. Now, in previous Fire Emblems, the goal of that was so you would get with someone, have kids,
Have kids.
your rank.
Yeah.
And this one, you can kind of get with people, but technically you're their teacher, so they thought it'd be a little weird if you're trying to bang your students. So, some of you sickos might not think might think it's okay, but other people might not.
Are they in college, or is this like?
It is a military academy
Yeah,
where
it's a
all
military
3 countries have sent their best and brightest to learn at this institution. It's a monastery somewhere in a neutral territory in between all 3 of them.
Okay.
And it starts with you all in school, and then it grows into they've left school and there's a war going on and whatnot. And you choose which house you want to lead.
We're gonna fuck before you go to war.
Yes,
I mean,
never.
when is there not a better time?
Never. You never know.
Yeah.
Might die.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, Damien.
Awesome.
Let's hear your first game.
All right. So I'm having a hard time dwindling these games down, but I can definitely pick something for 5 right now. And I'm going to go with 2010's Super Mario Galaxy 2 on Wii.
Oh, you're doing Game of the Decade. We're doing Game of the Year right now.
Oh, you want to do Game of the Year right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going through the games of the year.
Ooh, well, let me give
Sorry,
my...
I'm not gonna mention.
No, it's okay. I'm going to give my 5 also to Fire Emblem.
Okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
It was good. Ugly as sin, but good.
Yeah. I don't know. I might check it out. There's this game coming out next year. It was on the Wii U that they're remastering.
Yes. Yes.
Tokyo Mirage.
Sessions.
Oh, you mean the game I already have pre-ordered? Yes, sir. January 17th.
That's,
Devin, you gotta tell me about this game real quick. We gotta get off the rails, and you gotta tell me. Have you played that game? Or
I
Devin?
played it.
Oh, you played it? Yeah.
I played it briefly when Wii U was on its way
It
out.
was on Wii U, yeah.
And Switch came, and I was like, sorry. And I got rid of my Wii U shit and bought my
What
Switch.
kind of game is that, you guys?
What? So it's.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's an RPG. I don't. It is turn based, but it's like so.
Have you
from
played
my-
Shin Megami Tensei?
Yes.
This is essentially a crossover between Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. However, the idea about this game is you're a pop star, and it's like really, it's part rhythm game, part. It's weird. It's weird.
It sounds fucking crazy, bro.
That sounds right up my alley.
Devin's
So I'll
too.
definitely get it.
Yeah, it's like everything I've ever wanted. I haven't played it, but I remember watching a little bit, and I was just like, "Oh, I need this."
January 17th, same day Dragon Ball Kakarot comes out.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
Wow.
it's not a first-party game, which means that shit's gonna actually go on sale. So I'll wait.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
It's a Switch game, so good luck.
I mean, yeah, but it's not first-party Switch.
Yeah,
game.
but Shin Megami, like, look at Fire Emblem. It hasn't dropped, and it's still Atlas, as far as
Well,
I know, right? Yeah, no, they're different.
No, Fire Emblem is first party, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's also
And,
what people care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Fire Emblem. Okay, both you guys went. All right. Let's see. My next game, my number 4. Let me see how. You know, I'll just. We talked about it earlier. James was talking about it. Blood and Truth. Blood and Truth is one of the best PlayStation VR games that's been made.
I'm gonna get it out of the way. That's one of my honorable mentions. Just after playing fucking 2 to 2.5 hours of it.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
game is only about 4 hours, so 4.5 hours.
God
so you
damn it.
played
Really?
essentially half of the game.
Fuck.
Yeah, but you can always go back and there's all the collectibles and all, like, you can get higher scores and shit like that.
That game is fucking rad. It made me feel like fucking James Bond.
Yeah, it sets itself open for a sequel. So I hope enough people bought it so we can get that, because
I
is.
I felt like it was like playing through a Guy Ritchie film.
It totally is. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely worth being on the number 4, and I wanted to give at least one VR game a good shout out for a game of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because I love VR. Like I haven't been playing as much as I usually do, but VR is like one of the, like, at first I was like, was this worth it? And then it's like fucking games just dropping all the time, dude.
Games left and right, nonstop, all the
Crazy.
time.
It fucking
Games here, games for you. Games.
hurts.
It's like fucking Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. play with the wires, though.
You get a game.
Yes.
All right.
Nice.
I was looking
Yeah.
into that fucking thing.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
We
They just
no,
did
we already
Bridge
talked
Crew for
about the what were you talking about? The Quest?
Yeah, the Quest. They just dropped Bridge Crew for it, so I have to try that. I just haven't booted it up.
Isn't that like cross-platform too?
Yep.
Like, so
I played it on all 3 platforms.
Damn.
I played it on a PSVR, I played it on Vive, I played it on Oculus, and now I'm playing it on Quest.
God damn.
That's
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked enough about Blood and Truth earlier, so yeah, that's my number 4. What's up, Devin? What's your next one?
All right. So this is gonna sound like a bit of a shock from me because this is so outside of my wheelhouse. But
Uh-oh.
Crash Team Racing.
No, you loved
Oh,
that.
why?
What do you mean? Why? The game is
Well-
amazing.
No, time out. I'm sorry.
Amazingly
I didn't-
bad.
Devin, you misunderstand. The game is a fantastic game, but it's a sneaky game.
It's a
That
what game?
added, it's a sneaky game that added microtransactions after the fact. And it, apparently, from my understanding, it's very hard to get Wampa coins. So that's
Okay.
not nice.
So I agree and I disagree. You're right. What they did after the fact with the microtransactions was definitely kind of gross, especially when they're like, we're not going to have microtransactions. And then they were like, asterisks at launch.
Oh, really? They fucking pulled that?
Yeah, but
Activision,
they're
man.
totally like only cosmetic. They really don't do anything at
Okay.
all. And when I played the game, I like was earning plenty of coins. Like if you wanted to get everything, then yeah, like it was unrealistic. Like you wouldn't be able to do it without spending money. But like I was able to get everything that was current that I was actually interested in, no problem. And you like get all these bonuses too. Like if you play every day, even if it's only just one match, you get like an extra bonus for playing every day. And then like the more consecutive days you play up to like a week, you get even, you get like a bigger multiplier on top of that. And they add it on the weekend. So like it's fair. But like I said, if you're trying to go for everything, that's unrealistic. But if you're just picking and choosing the things you want, they're pretty generous. But that aside, like I never played the original, so I have no connection to that. And I also hate racing games, with the exception of Burnout Paradise and it's like Spirit Professor, Need for Speed Most Wanted. But this
Those are good games.
They're fantastic. But this game, like I hate when people try to compare it to Mario Kart because it is so different, and like the mechanics of it are actually like incredibly skill based. Like in addition to the racing, the timing of like how you have to perform your boosts is like a whole monster of itself. And I was crazy enough to get the platinum in this game, and it was such a challenge, but it was so damn satisfying. Like if you want a really technical mechanical racer that's like also somehow arcadey, this is like the absolute pinnacle. Like I would say this is by far the best racing game that's not like meant to be a simulator I've ever played.
So,
Fair.
Yeah,
fair.
that's some high praise, and I
It's
wish I
great.
got it when it was on sale. I wonder, is it still on sale? I always wanted it.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard.
That's why I didn't want it,
hard.
because I heard it was really fucking hard.
It is. It is very hard. You can always play it on easy, but like if you want to play it on normal or like on hard, it's hard. You need to like actually go into like the practice mode and just like kind of watch the or try to keep up with the AI to see like how they start doing shortcuts and like how they're making these turns, and really just learn the mechanics of the boost. The boost is key to everything.
hell yeah, dude. That was the other game that I was like, fucking, I'm buying for the Switch. So
Yeah.
I got that coming
Crash?
too. So I was like, that seems like a fun game to play on the go. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So hell yeah, I got that. Crash Team Racing, yeah, dude, I loved it on the PS1, and like that was one of my like besides the 10,000 times I played MGS1,
Yeah.
I would play Crash Team Racing with my brother and the friends I had in the neighborhood. Like we would play that. Yeah, it was a really good game. But James, what's the next game? Uh-oh.
They got a
Oh, there we
update. There.
go. Hold on, James. We're having some issues.
Technical difficulties.
I wonder if you can hear me. Yo,
Nope.
you back?
I can hear. I can see
Oh,
and hear
okay.
everybody.
There we go. It was like skipping for a little bit. All right.
Okay.
What was your next game? I'm sorry.
It's an old game, but it got an update this year.
You're cheating, man.
No
These
Man's
are games of the
No
year.
Man's
Oh,
Sky
okay.
VR.
I'll
right.
allow that. I'll allow that one.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky
game-
Beyond is one of the best updates they could ever put on that.
The VR part of that shit is so dope, bro. Like, just coming home and standing up, man, and fucking like going into space and talking bullshit with you and like, hey, what's up? Like,
Dude,
everything
how many
about that.
hours did we play that together, dude? It's
I
like
don't
a
know, at least
number,
40
dude.
hours, bro. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say 40 hours.
Yeah.
Wow, shit.
That update is like a new game. I don't give a shit what
yeah.
anybody says. That made that game good. I don't want to play No Man's Sky regular anymore.
Hell no.
Straight
dude.
up.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh
That-
shit, and that's it.
That's a damn good choice because No Man's Sky Beyond changed the game. Literally.
Yes.
my life forever.
It is
Yes.
the biggest VR game we have ever seen.
I can go into space, dude, with my radio going on Spotify and just sit there and look around and be like satisfied.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
I would
Like-
just sit there in space bullshitting with Brian and
Yeah.
like with my radio on and just like be okay with it. Just sit there like, yeah, I'm chilling.
collecting
This is great.
resources, building bases and shit.
Yes.
I still want to get back on and build that underwater base. But there was
Yeah, but dude, we got to play it on easy, dude, because that normal shit, the survival or whatever you had it on,
I had
was
it on
like
survival, and those fucking sentinels were bothering us all the
the
time.
sentinels. Every planet was like fucked up for some reason, so like we could run outside real quick, and then like gather some shit, and then I would have to run back to my fucking spaceship and sit in there again. But
Yeah.
just the scope of that game in VR is so crazy to me. Like
we might have to we might talk about that a little later, but we could
I'm fucking
totally
going
do
to-
like a let's play series on us just fucking around on No Man's Sky.
dude, that game is good. And then like, you know, all the aliens and bullshit. I don't
Yeah.
know. That game totally changed once it was in VR.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they've dropped a couple decent sized patches since we stopped playing. Like they
Yeah,
added
hopefully they fix the building shit.
Yeah, the building shit was so like I had to go into non VR and then build shit, and then like come back. Uh-oh, are we losing?
Yep.
Anyway, he was pretty much done. He'll probably be back on. Nick.
Star Wars Fallen Order.
Huh?
Star Wars Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I solid game, had fun with it, good story. There was some frustrating parts. Anything that had to do with the stupid sliding, I hated.
Oh god, don't.
I hated the sliding on PlayStation way more. Jumps that I could make easily on my Xbox was taking me like 20 times to get through on PlayStation because for whatever reason the physics was different. But
you mean it was
it was hot garbage and all. I mean, anything sliding on PlayStation was hot garbage. And I had bugs on the PlayStation version that I never saw in the Xbox version. Like I fell through the map several times. I had that caught in a loop thing where you can't do anything until I reloaded the save. I never had any of that on Xbox. It was clearer. The graphics were better. Everything was better about it on Xbox. So on that version, yes, I couldn't stop playing. That's the first time I've ever, well, I don't want to say first time I've ever, but it's the first time in a very, 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 very long time I've 100% of the game like that. So, yep.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues on the Xbox at all. I was on the One X.
Yep, me too.
Cool. Star Wars, man.
I was going to say, I was on the PS4 Pro, and boy, oh boy, was I having issues.
That's what I was on too, and it just was, I couldn't believe it. Even
Yeah,
just booting it up and looking at the graphics on there, I'm like,
yeah, what kind of,
why is it so cloudy?
It's like, why does it look like this?
Oh, wow. Damn. Womp womp. All right, Dames, we're going to you.
My number 4 is Katana Zero.
Katana Zero. I'm a little uneducated on this game. You want to tell me a little bit about it?
So it's a little indie gem.
Devolver.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Devolver?
Yes, Devolver Digital. Yep.
Oh, cool.
And it's kind of like twin stick, but not. But like, I don't know. It's really good though. And I think everybody should give it a try. I don't want to spoil it too much about it.
Is it
it actually
top
has
down?
no, it's not. It's
Side
scrolling?
scrolling?
side scroll, yeah.
Like,
And
did you play My Name is Pedro?
I did. It's not like that.
Okay, that's what I thought when you said twin sticky.
Well, he has a blade. He also has a gun.
Okay.
Yeah, and you
So
can
is it
aim the gun.
Like kind of like Ninja Gaiden in a way or something like that.
I mean, I guess.
Side-scrolling twin stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I might have to check that out. Let's
I
see.
would
Katana
definitely
Zero.
recommend it. If I had to pick that between that and my friend Pedro, I would pick Katana Zero only because it had a better story. It was just really, really done well with what they had. The little bit of money they had to make something, they made something really special, and I appreciate.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that from an
Awesome.
indie game.
Awesome. All right. My next game. This is where it gets hard, guys. Even though, like, because there's like one that could totally just get knocked out. Okay. You know what my next game is going to be? I was talking so much shit about this game.
Oh God.
And then I kept on playing it, and I kept on playing it, and kept on playing it. I think James might know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's Death Stranding. It's not my
Oh
number.
my God.
Really?
It's not my number one, but it did make it in there.
I'm not mad.
You Kojima loving ass motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, really.
I still have a lot of fucking issues with that game. But
I have a lot of issues with you, sir.
yeah, I have a lot of issues with myself too, so that's fine. But there's something
This guy.
there's something to be said about a game like this where it's very melancholy. You know, there's like these long drawn out parts of the game where it's meant to be kind of like not, I wouldn't necessarily say boring, but just like
Fun.
something not fun for sure. There are definitely parts of the game where I was
Boring.
like, I am not having
Not boring, but
not boring, but
Boring.
probably kind of boring. But there is like something about it. I don't know what the fuck to say. Like it's just one of those games where the story kind of grabbed me, and some of the weirdness kind of grabbed me.
That game is definitely weird as fuck.
It is weird as fuck.
It's interesting, but for every piece of interesting, there's so much boring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that
Like I'm
statement.
having a hard time. Like I'm playing it too, and I'm like, I get into a rhythm where I play it for a few hours, and then I'm just like, I can't do this shit anymore, and then I go to something else, and then I
hate
come back
this.
and I play for a few hours, and
I think
then
that's probably the best way to play that game is to just play it for a few hours and then drop it and then come back the next day and play it for a few hours. Because, like, I mean, it took me like nearly 2 weeks to beat it. And, like, whenever I get a new game, I usually blast the fuck through that game as fast as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So it did take me quite a bit to get those. I think it was like, what, 35 or so hours in to beat it.
my problem is I get sidetracked very easily. Like I want to build all the damn roads, so all I have to do is drive the truck back and forth to do stuff, and it takes forever to get the materials, especially the further west you go. So I keep going back to the settlements, trying to essentially rape them of all their materials and drop them off. So I keep getting sidetracked with that instead of just plowing through like I probably should. So I burn out. That's why I burn out on it. A lot of back and forth.
That's fair.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. It's like I haven't like had the urge to like go back to it to platinum it. So I don't know if I'll ever platinum it. I hear it's a ridiculously long platinum. Which
Oh, that sounds so fun. Well,
doesn't sound fun at all.
I'm being so sarcastic.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, somebody like me who spent like I think I spent like 130 hours in Metal Gear Solid 5 to platinum that.
Well, here's the thing about Metal Gear Solid 5 versus Death Strand. Never mind, I'm not even gonna say it.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is a fun fucking video game. Like you can say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like you're always having a good time in that game. So
Exactly.
yeah. All right, Devin, what's your next game?
So it's a game that you guys may have only heard of because I talked about it. But this game came out this year called Just Shapes and Beats.
Oh yeah, you were high praises on that game.
Yeah, it's great. And they actually just came out with some free DLC, and it was like remixes of Shovel Knight music. So
Ooh.
yeah, so that was also awesome. But yeah, basically it's like imagine like a bullet hell, but the only objective is to dodge everything. You don't fight anything, you don't kill anything, you just dodge and don't get hit. And all of the stuff that comes flying at you is done to the beat of the music, and it's all kind of like imagine like if Winamp like generated pictures and shapes and nonsense to the flow of the music, and that's basically what you're dealing with. And it's
That's crazy.
That's kind of
really
an
cool.
interesting take on a bullet hell, though. I like that idea.
It's great. It really is. I can't speak highly enough about it, and all of the music is like totally great.
Is that a Vita game or a PS4?
No,
game?
PS4, and it actually came out. I think it came out technically last year on Switch, but it came out, they ported it this year, and it's all like neon pink and black, so like all colors are popping too. It's great.
All right, dope. James, you're up next.
All right. I'm gonna go with fucking Days Gone.
Yeah.
Really?
That game has so many technical flaws that makes me not want to play it, but I just keep coming back to it for some reason. I don't know why, but it just I fucking stopped playing it because it was stuttering so much, but then I find myself going back to it. I don't know why. It's just I don't know if it's the Assassin's Creed 1 kind of like gameplay, you know? Like
Right.
you're
kinda
doing
like
the
the-
same shit over. It's busy work, but it kind of like I kind of like that busy work. I don't know. But yeah, Days Gone, man. I like driving the motorcycle around. Like
was gonna
at first
say,
I
you
thought
like-
it was
So you like the busy work, so that means you like driving around the motorcycle and having it break down and taking care of it like it's a.
yeah. I almost wish
never
that
had a
they had
problem
more
with
of
that
like a.
Too much.
I wish they had like a more of a survival. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. More survival
Elements?
mechanics.
Like almost like how what is that Xbox exclusive called?
But yeah, I don't know. I really like that game. It's fun to play. I like to. I haven't fought a horde yet, and I'm like almost to the second area of the game to where you go up north or whatever.
Yeah.
And I haven't fought a horde yet. You know, I've ridden into them and died horribly, because I
Yeah,
thought I could just like fucking gun it through them on my motorcycle,
and they're like,
but that
"No,
doesn't
fuck
work.
you, dude." They pick you
Yes.
apart.
But I don't know, for how much shit it got, I think it's a better game than what other people
Yeah,
say. I
the
don't know. Just
reputation. Yeah.
I still think the audacity that it wasn't even nominated for the Game Awards in any category. I was
it's
like,
a
"Are
cool
you?"
game, man. It's a
I
cool
think
idea.
it's because it came out earlier in the year and it did have a lot of conflicting press around it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Issues are
When
still
it
there.
came out, apparently they
yeah, I mean, Death Stranding was the hot topic, and of course, Control was fairly recent too.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of got lost.
The best game.
So I think it's Nick next. Yeah.
So I'm gonna dig into the well myself. In August, Grandia HD Remaster launched for Switch, and that
That
Grandia
was one and
2 is
two,
my
right?
favorite game of all time.
Mhm.
From back in 1999 when it came out on Dreamcast. Yeah, the system that everyone forgot. So yeah, I put
Been the cool
75
system
hours
ever.
into that game and 100%ed it.
Holy shit.
So
That's
not many
a
games
that's
will
a
make me do
bullet
it.
hell, right? Is that what that is?
No,
That's not a
it's
bullet.
it's
It's
standard
arcade, right?
JRPG,
Okay, cool.
turn-based JRPG.
Dope.
Think Final Fantasy, but better. And I'll say that because I can.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I have 75 hours of just played and played and played, and I couldn't stop. And
Awesome, dude.
yeah.
How did they remaster it? Did they like upgrade the graphics like a bunch, or is it
Yeah, they
just
made it HD. Back in the day, it was 4.3 aspect ratio, and the standard Dreamcast res from then. The reason I liked it so much back then versus like Final Fantasy is a lot of the spells, or there was a few of the spells that actually had like anime cinematics, and some of them they were slightly realistic as well. And in my opinion, the graphics there looked better than when they ported it to PS2. But they essentially just upped everything. The original one was more of a sprite kind of game, kind of like Final Fantasy VII. It was originally on the Sega Saturn and PS1.
gotcha?
I didn't play that one yet, and I never played it in the past, but I played its sequel and the sequels that came after it. And it was Enix before it was Square Enix and Game Arts. And Gung Ho Interactive or whatever bought all of the Game Arts stuff. And they released this as an anniversary edition on PC back in 2015. And they took that version, up-resed it a little more, and then converted it to Switch, and then also up-resed and converted the first one to Switch. But Grandia 2 alone, I did 75 hours, and I'll play that again when I have time.
Damn.
What? Me?
Yes, sir.
My bad. So I'm gonna have to go with Mortal Kombat 11.
Solid
Nice choice. All right, I gotta hear about this story mode that's going on with it.
So
There's, like, present characters in it, or like future characters in it, or some shit.
So they do time travel with the story or whatever, and they go back in time to their younger selves to correct mistakes they made that put them where they are now in the series. What the game does really, really well is the story. It's really, really fucking good, and that's very shocking because it's a fighting game and it has no right being as good as it is.
Nice.
All you really do is hop from battle to battle, but like they keep it very engaging by the way they tell it.
Yeah, the new villain essentially is the goddess of time, Chronica, and she essentially screws the timeline. So people from different eras kind of jump into other eras. So you see, like the regular Liu Kang from
Mortal Kombat 1
or whatever meets Revenant Liu Kang from the end of 10.
From the end of 10, yeah.
And then vice versa. You'll see like the regular katana, and you'll see all different versions. Raiden that went nuts versus Raiden that isn't nuts, and they fight each other. It's just this, for lack of a better term, it's a clusterfuck of all eras of Mortal Kombat just beating the shit out of each other.
Right.
What about OG Johnny Cage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that guy.
Sorry.
That's a
My
good choice. Oh yeah.
My son beat that game yesterday by himself. My son,
Yeah.
No, I heard
he was on easy mode. He was on easy mode, but he beat the story mode by himself. I was so proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
better than I'll ever be.
Right. I'm more of a Tekken guy, you know.
No, we don't know because no one plays that game.
Burn.
What?
Damn.
Just play the fuck out of some Tekken, man. My
I
man,
love Heihachi. He's my bae.
But you said it right there, Brian. You used to play a lot of Tekken. You don't currently.
no, I haven't played 6 or 7, but 1 through 5, yeah.
But that's future. That's past tense. We're talking about
Yeah.
the future here.
True.
The present.
Hey.
I've always been more of a Mortal Kombat fan anyway.
I to be quite honest with you, I can't pick a favorite. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I play them all.
Fighter 2.
My dude, Hooray, and I will call him Hooray. I know that's the wrong pronunciation.
Me too.
I
love
agree with you, Brian. Hooray.
Hooray, yeah.
Just like fucking Dazzleman in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucking
Always pick
Dazzleman.
him. But yeah,
That stretchy ass
this is
bitch.
where it gets a little hard because like I could interchange my number 2 and number 1 depending on how I feel in the day. But I'm gonna say
Don't
Days
do it.
Gone is my number 2.
So wait, hold on.
Days Gone.
Oh wait, you probably weren't the one that was like, "What?" when James said he liked it.
I
Yes.
fucking love Days Gone. I know
Well,
there is
Because
lot
of
of-
Brian, that's
Yeah.
why it's on my list.
I like hounded these people to play this game, dude. I was like, bro, yeah, is there issues? Yes.
Yes.
But
Major issues that I fucking
But
hate, but I
there's a
love
lot
it.
of fun to be fucking had in this game. And I actually like Deacon St. John as a character. I think he
No, that guy is an ass.
No, I think he's
That
more
guy's an asshole.
relatable. I think he's more of a relatable character in a zombie apocalypse than this is gonna be controversial.
I agree with you there.
I think he's more relatable than Joel from The Last of Us in some ways. Because
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I got your back, dude.
thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't know. I was playing the fuck out of Days Gone for a while. And there were parts where I was like, I think I'm at the end, and then I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot more game left? Holy
Yes.
fuck. And that was like kind of a drawback, but kind of
I was
like
gonna say, yeah, that could either be really good or really
yeah,
bad.
it was kind of like two sides of a coin. I was like, this is cool in some ways, but like at the same time, fuck it. More Days Gone. I'll play the fuck out of this game.
Yes.
But yeah, that's gonna be my number 2. I dug it. I thought a lot of the voice acting was actually really top notch in it too. Like the main
Yeah,
character
the cutscenes were good.
and even some of the side characters that you run into that are just like in their own communities having to deal with their own shit. They had good performances there too. So yeah, that's gonna be my number 2. Days Gone.
I agree with that, man.
Phenomenal game.
I'm probably the only one who agrees with it, but I agree with it.
Hell yeah. Devin, what's up? What's your next one?
I don't know. So I went backwards. I started my number one. I'm looking at my trophy list, and like I played some great games this year
Yeah.
that unfortunately did not come out this year. And I think I might have only it was I played maybe like 10 games this year that came out this year, and like after the 3 that I already said, and the 3 I said I really loved. I feel like everything else is like it's there.
Mhm.
So I'll go with The Messenger. The Messenger was a great game. It was really solid. I will say the one downside was after you get halfway through the game, the second half of the game is way less linear. And I feel like if I didn't use the guide won't help you actually beat it. The platforming is what it is, and it's hard, and you play it, and I love that part. But trying to figure out where you need to go doesn't make any fucking sense. So for anybody playing it, I highly recommend that you use a guide so you just to know where to go, because the game is cryptic and it gives you these riddles and they suck. But outside of that, the actual gameplay is really really tight, and the story is actually kind of funny, and like the writing is really smart, and it's pretty self aware. So if you like these kind of games, it's definitely something worth your time.
Nice. All right. Okay. James would normally be next. Oh wait, there he is. Actually, go ahead, James. You can go next.
Sure. All right. Now, I really shouldn't be picking this game as my number 2 because I technically haven't finished it yet. I put it down and I stepped away, but I do plan on coming back to it. My number 2 is Devil May Cry 5.
Nice. I hear a lot of good shit about Devil May Cry 5. I do want to end up picking it up.
Yeah, it's a really good return to form after Capcom's colossal misstep, which was DMC.
Bro,
It's on.
wait,
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I had to charge my shit. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
that is.
That's definitely a Game Pass game I'm gonna play. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really good. The RE engine is really fucking gorgeous. It's a really beautiful game. It's I'm gonna say currently the best stylish action game out at the moment, only to probably be dethroned by Platinum Games and Bayonetta 3. A lot of people say that the combat in Astral Chain on Switch was really good. I think the combat in Devil May Cry 5 is better.
So you have played Astral Chain?
Yeah.
You liked it though? It was a good game?
It was alright.
I was thinking about picking that up. It looked neat. It caught my attention.
You might like it. Listen, it's not a bad game.
Okay.
I had fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5. I kind of hit my peak of Devil May Cry in 3. But I did play. Actually, I think I beat 4. I never beat DMC, but I actually liked DMC.
I liked it too. I love DMC.
I know they changed it up kind of a bit more than what people wanted. I didn't give a fuck what the main characters looked like. It was like, who cares? It's a fucking video game. But I never did beat that one. But yeah, 5. Now I forgot it was on Game Pass, and I think I already have it downloaded because I saw that. But that's definitely a game I'm.
Yeah, man, give it a try. It's not bad. And on Game Pass, it's free. Technically, free enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah. $15 a month for Game Pass Ultimate, but.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find deals on it.
Yeah. All right, James, you're next.
Number 2.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be the Outer Worlds, baby.
Oh,
Mm.
nice.
I'm a big fucking Fallout fan, right? I love New Vegas. I think that's the best Fallout game made.
Mm-hmm.
And these motherfuckers made an even better game. It's the perfect amount of time, and you can just do whatever the hell you want as long as you buff your what is it? Your speech. Like I was a big liar. I lied that whole game. I lied and I cheated and I lied. And that's why I like that game because you can just speech check everything. Um, the only thing I didn't like about it is that the world seemed kind of like samey, you know. Um, you go to Monolith and it's the big planet and whatnot, but the flora the what do you call it, flora and fauna is kind of the same for each planet. It wasn't very different. The only time you can see a difference is on the spaceships and some of the other missions that took you off planet. But besides that, the story was tight, it was good, and it was enjoyable. I like how at the end it speech checks you like, hey, are you at 100% this, and this? And you could probably just talk your way out of the final battle if you want to, but I
Oh,
Yeah,
you
wasn't.
can. You can. I've done it.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't all the way there, so like I said, fuck it, and I fought some stupid ass robot 3 times, which was like anticlimactic, but at the same time, it's not about what did they say? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yep.
And that was that type of game. You know? I like playing it rather than where I ended up.
Gotcha.
And, and it's a tie with Resident Evil 2 remake. Like
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
that game's fucking rad, right? Like
Nice.
Yeah, it is
the
very rad.
the fucking like the whole change in how you play it, Mr. X, like all that shit was very satisfying. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those are like that's like my tie. They both got my number 2. Um, I definitely played both of those games an equal amount during the year.
Dope. All right. Nick, you're next.
Well, up until about today, my number 2 is my number 1. So number 2 is Outer Worlds as well. I also think Fallout New Vegas is the best of the series, followed by Fallout 3. The other two I was a little disappointed in, but Outer Worlds is awesome. Like I buffed up my speech, my science, my engineering, lockpicking, and except for me wanting to level myself up with long range weapons and shit, I talked my way out of most of it. I got everyone to play nice with each other instead of killing them all. It's a solid game that gives you different paths. I would have had it 100%ed, but that final planet you go to, where the headquarters is a little harder to find the missions than the other planets, and not
Yeah,
right in your
definitely.
face. So I moved so far ahead in the story that I forgot about some of those, and then I was just like, "Ah, to hell with it." But up until that last planet, I had everything all 100%. Everything was good. So that's the second game. I'd say I'd beat it about 95%.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
the game's very good.
Yeah, it's solid. Now, yeah, there's some copy and paste here and there, but in all honesty, I didn't really notice it that much because I was too busy killing shit, talking people down. Like, I
Yeah.
thought it was great, and I think there was one decision that I actually save pointed, whether I killed someone or left them alive so they can help the main scientist guy. And I tried both of them to see what the end game would be, and I ended up just keeping her alive. Actually, no, I ended up keeping her dead because the cartel people gave me a boatload of cash, and I was like, screw it. But yeah, it was choices like that where one small decision can net you a lot of money, or it can net you an ally.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's my number 2, and it was my number 1 until today. So
Dope. So my number 1.
number
Hey, is my
1,
audio through?
Number 1
Am I
number
echoing at all?
1.
is, this should be really no strange surprise because I've been singing praises about this game for a while. It's Control, man. Fucking take control, motherfucker.
Yeah.
This game is so fucking good, so weird, so everything, dude. Like, this game is just like, I don't know. I had such a good time with Control. It's definitely my game of the year. Control. I don't know like, all of the performances are really good. You know, you would think that a game that's set in this one building wouldn't have a good environments, but there's actually like something and interesting about the concrete environments of the level and how it interacts with
It has one of the best fucking sequences in video games ever.
yes. Ashtray maze. What's up?
Best
For
fucking.
anybody who knows what that is, that's the best sequence in a video game almost ever.
I'm glad you like that game, because that game is the most frustrating fucking thing I've ever played. It's good, but it's.
Yeah,
I
it
would
sucks.
hit the dodge button and it would just be like, no, fuck you, and I die. I'm like, over and over and over and over, especially on that stupid squid monster motherfucker. God, 30 times.
Fuck that guy. Yes, fuck that guy.
That's one of the worst bosses, and that's an optional boss too.
Yeah.
That is one of the worst bosses in the game. Like, he fucked me up a lot too.
It's a solid game, but some of those controls, man, when you would hit,
you can change them though.
Something. I know, but I tend not to mess with that shit. I just
I did.
When I hit that dodge button, I don't
something
move and I die anyway. It's like, no, there's something not right here.
It forces you to use everything. It forces you to.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, I'm really good at this gun, so I'm just gonna fuck people up with this gun. It's like, no, you gotta use that gun with the levitation, with the floating around.
Yes.
Levitation and throwing.
And like, sometimes that can fuck you up wildly, and then once you actually like defeat that area or that boss, you feel like a fucking god. And it's like, I don't know. I love that game. That's my number one. Devin, what's your game of the year?
All right, so like I said, I screwed this up. My game of the year was Sekiro. I did mine backwards.
Oh, okay. I got it.
It's going to be a three-way tie of disappointment. They're looking at what I played. Realistically, Bloodstained was probably the only thing that didn't disappoint me, like, in some form. I mean, it wasn't fantastic. It was really just like Symphony of the Night, but with like 2.5D. So for my 5 spot, I'm going to put Fallen Order, Borderlands 3, and Anthem. They all had great ideas, but
Anthem?
they were all mediocre.
That's his number 5, not his number 1. His number 1
Yeah,
is
but on a game of the year list
his number 1 is Sekiro.
Yeah, number 1 is Sekiro. But for 5, I'm going to put a 3-way tie of disappointment and shame of what could have been.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So his number 1 is Sekiro.
Yeah, my number 1 is Sekiro.
is a good
I would burn Anthem. What a shitstorm.
Yeah, I'm
Looks
going
like they're gonna try to rebuild that game somehow.
But why? At this point, like, you've already damaged it. If you're gonna rebuild it, just do like an Anthem 2, and then
I mean, they
try
might.
bringing it
I mean,
back.
I don't think it would be a good idea for them to like literally come out with like Anthem 2, the sequel. I feel like that would burn a lot of bridges, and like I think it would bomb just based on the name alone. I think they need to do
They
something.
could totally Destiny the Taken King it.
Yeah, but do
You
you
know what I mean?
do you think they have the resources to dump into this? Like there was like 3 or
Yeah,
but it took 3 or 4 of them just to get this version out, and they're already trying to do Dragon Age 4. They've already said that there's a Mass Effect somewhere in development somewhere back there. Like,
No,
Just-
don't bring Mass Effect back. Let that shit die. That's
No.
oh,
Mass Effect is good. Andromeda was
It was
rushed,
good.
hurried, and
All right. Let's hear Devin out. Let's hear Devin out.
You asked me if they have the resources, not if they have the smarts. I don't know, based on their 2 last fuck ups in a row, I don't know if I trust them to do anything better. I think they have all the time and money in the world to burn on it, absolutely. Whether or not anything good will come of it is an entirely different question.
Leave Mass Effect alone. Just let it go off into the fucking sunset, please.
Just hurl it from a
Anthem, I feel like they could, if they really tried, they could make something out of that.
I believe they could. I think they
but
just need
that game is already pretty much dead. Like,
Yep.
how
Yes.
is it gonna get? This isn't Destiny
game is
where
dead.
you had the first game where everyone was like, "Yeah," and then the second game came out and everyone's kind of like,
It's like,
"Oh," and then they fixed it. For most people, I still haven't gone back to it, but they fixed it for most people, and now it's back up again.
Was Destiny
Anthem
1
didn't
like
have that,
though? I thought
like,
it was kind of like,
first solid
and then,
hit.
like, they built
It
it up.
just it came out and it just was like everyone was like, "What the,"
Yeah.
So I don't see how this is going to help them. I think what they need to do is put all their chips on Dragon Age 4, make that a solid game to get people happy with you again, and then do like an Anthem 2 or something like that where it has a full development cycle that isn't a garbage shoot of one that they had with this one. Like an actual development cycle where it isn't being recycled every year or
Oh, I
every
agree.
6 months.
We'll see what happens. Developers say one thing and then do another all the time. So we'll see what the fuck really happens.
Especially ones tied to EA.
True. All right, James, what's your
Control,
number?
baby.
Control, motherfucker.
Control.
I cannot bang the drum like any harder. That game, it has great fucking acting. Like, it has great writing. Like, I sat there for the first like couple hours and was like reading everything that I could. And then even at the end, it fucking ties in. It ties in everything that Remedy has done
Yeah.
into that fucking game. Max Payne. It talks about Alan Wake a lot. Like, towards the end there, you're picking shit up, and it's like, hey, there's a fucking lake in Washington that's like has a writer in the bottom of it, and blah blah blah. And like, yes, the game is frustrating at some points, and like, I find that to be a constant thing through Remedy games. Like, Max Payne was annoying at one point.
Yeah.
Drake was annoying at one point.
Oh, I
This
fucking
game was annoying at one point, but
yeah.
when you actually get to the end, it's like, yes, this game's fucking rad. It's well written, well acted. All the voice actors are good. I like the main protagonist. It's like a weird Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
No.
That is another reason why I like the game so much, is it does kind of tie in all of Remedy's games into this one game. And
Yes,
it could be
if you look-
explained as a altered world event.
If you
Like,
look at the
break
fucking,
is a open world event. It could be.
if you go in the elevator, man, it says Payne Industries. Like, did Max Payne go on to be a fucking elevator guy? I guess so.
You make some fucking good money working on elevators. Just saying.
Right? Like, I guess Max Payne went from being a cop to putting in elevators in this fucking place called the Federal Bureau. What is it called?
The Federal Bureau of Control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I constantly go back to it, and I'm kind of like, I beat the game,
Yeah.
beat the main story, and I go back to it, and I'm like cleaning up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Game's rad. I can't wait to see how they mix the Alan Wake DLC, because we all know that one DLC is going to be about Alan Wake, right?
Yep. They definitely have hinted very close to that.
So that's my game of the year. I played the shit out of it, and I couldn't stop playing it, so that's why.
Okay. Nick, you're number one.
As I said before, Outer Worlds was number one until today, and today I beat Pokemon Sword.
Really?
I've never beaten Pokemon before. I never really gave too much of a shit about it, but this time I did. I don't know why. I would play it, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to be done. And then 2 hours later, I'm still playing it. I put 68, 70 hours into it, I think. And the game has been out since the beginning of November, and we all know how busy I am, so I still found 70 hours of time, along with me beating Jedi Fallen Order and almost beating it again and playing Death Stranding. So I still found time for this, and I just kept coming back for more and more and more, to the point where I borrowed my daughter's game card for Shield, and I'm probably going to boot that up. So I wish there was achievements for that shit, because that would have been sweet. But no, it's solid. The gameplay is what you'd expect from a Pokemon game. I'm not going to lie. It's Pokemon. Like, there's not much difference.
What makes this one different?
For me, it just had a bit more of a story to it that I saw.
That's so weird, because I've heard the graphics from everybody else.
Yeah, well, everyone, it's kind of like Star Wars. You either really like some of their movies or you really hate some of their movies.
No, I know, but I mean, like, specifically, like, I heard there was a total lack of a story, and like,
so
I wish I was actually experiencing that story instead of them just showing me a fucking postcard.
Well, here's the thing: it's your traditional story about Pokemon, at least in the beginning, where you go through and you see little bits and pieces of the chairman doing some funky shit and some stuff not looking right, but you're still going through, getting your gym badges and doing your normal stuff. And the further you get into it, more shady stuff starts happening. Like, this person is breaking down murals and stealing wishing stars, and this person's over here trying to tell you there's nothing to see here. And you keep going and going, and then,
like Chief Wiggum.
Yeah, I mean, you just keep going and going and going through it, and then you finally get to the point where, like, I'm gonna be a champion, and it's like, nope, now there's some freaky giant ass fucking thing that's starting the darkest day, and you need to go stop this nutball from doing that. And then you beat him and you capture him, and you're like, awesome. And then you move on and you think, all right, I'm the champion now, game's over, I'm just going to collect stuff. Nope. Now you got to get your legendary, and you have to, you're constantly beating the shit out of your rival, and he keeps thanking you for it and all that, which is kind of weird. So it's like, I'll beat you next time, and I'm like, hell no, I'm like 30 levels higher than you. You're never beating me. It just was solid game. Is it gonna win any writing awards? No. It's Pokemon. It's not meant to do that. But I liked what I did. It kept me engaged. I enjoyed finding different combinations of Pokemon to use and leveling them up and all that. So for me, I dumped more time into that than anything except for Grandia, and I felt like Grandia, since it's a remake, shouldn't be game of the year, but it needed to be on that list. So
Gotcha.
Fair.
Yep.
Sounded like you had some thoughts on Pokemon Sword and Shield there, Dames? Did you want to add anything to that?
I mean, I don't really want to take anything away from anyone's enjoyment and or I don't know, like make anybody feel bad for fucking liking a game and having a good time with it.
No, if you love a game, you love a
Yeah,
game.
you like a game, you like a game.
Damn you, James.
But I mean, like, I've been playing Pokemon nonstop. I haven't stopped. So for me, this is the same fucking game, minimal differences, and no story.
Damn. All right.
Well, that's the difference between me and you. See, you've
Also-
played
also-
all of them. This is it. Like, I've dabbled in it in the past. I dabbled in Let's Go, and I was like, nah. And this kind of caught me out of nowhere. So
Right.
I appreciate your opinion on it. For me, it was a different story, though. So
I mean, even at the end, there is usually a longer post game and more Pokemon to catch. Literally, catch your legendary at the end of this game. That's it. It's over. You're like, the end. Bye.
Do you have a Cobra Kai phone case?
I do have a Cobra Kai phone case.
That's brilliant.
Fucking Cobra Kai never dies, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic. I just saw the little snake and I was like, you son of a bitch.
Okay. Okay, I just saw that. Dames, what's your game of the year?
So my number one is going to be another Capcom game. I'm going with Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah. Man, I wish I played that. I'm still.
Annabelle is not trying to sneak up on you.
You should play it. Everybody should play it.
Here's I want you to tell me why it's amazing, but here's why I don't want to play it. Because if you look at my trophy list, for the last 2 years, I've platinumed basically everything I've played, and I only do one game at a time, and I play till I beat it. And I'm looking at this game, and you need to beat this fucker over 6 times.
Here's the thing about it, though. So it's Resident Evil 2, right? You can breeze through that game in like an hour, 2 hours. It's not hard. If you know what you're doing, you can run through that fucker quick.
I guess. All right, but tell me why it's great. Tell me why I should buy this while it's on sale right now for $20.
Oh, you should.
All right, so it really is the best survival horror zombie game out on the market, remade. If you could think about what it was like to play Resident Evil 2 way back in, I think it was 97, if you ever played it back then or even whenever, it's literally that, but it's also got the best parts of Resident Evil 4, the best parts of Resident Evil 7, the best parts of Resident Evil 6. Like, it's just a nice culmination of everything that Capcom's been working on while still staying faithful to a really, really good game. I really find it hard to find things that I don't like about it. And yeah, I enjoyed every playthrough that I played through it like 4 times, and I've enjoyed it every time.
All right. Maybe I'll commit. Maybe we'll just do it.
I mean, it's really good. I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean,
I loved it too. I've beaten that so many times.
well, there you go, man. That should be more than enough right there.
I guess.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah, so we have Control 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
You said Resident Evil 2. He's got Pokemon. Well, I guess we don't have like a full majority on what.
Well, I mean, technically, if we control those 2 votes for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically.
If I played it.
I
I
guess,
got
yeah. You refused to buy the game.
30 or
Screw
less.
You, Devin.
30 or less.
Screw you, man. It's a great
You want
game.
to hear something sad? Today, I was thinking about Sinuous Sacrifice. And my coworker texted me and she was like, yo, we were just talking about this. It's on sale. I was like, okay, let me go check it out. And I was like, yo, it's $15. That's too steep. I was like, $15 is a bit much for a game that's 2.5 years old. I think I'll pass.
Sure. Yeah, I'll pass. No, that's crazy. $15 isn't that bad.
It's not bad. It's just the principle that it's like I've bought AAA games that are like a year old for less than $15. The fact that this is 2.5 years old, like you ain't making any money on this game anymore. You shouldn't be charging $15.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'll play it eventually.
So I don't know. The original idea was to do Game of the Year and Game of the Decade in one single episode, but I feel like we've gone on for a while now.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could split that up. So hopefully we can get everybody back together. Are you good next week, Dames, to like come back? Yeah.
Would love to come back if you guys will have me.
Yeah.
Every week if you want to, man. Like
After that Pokemon talk, you can stay off.
Oh shit! After what you said about Pokemon, well,
yeah,
I mean,
fuck off with the Pokemon hate. No,
there's just I can't. I'm sorry. You're right. I don't want to talk about it. I think the one thing that I should really say though, did I have fun when I was playing it? Absolutely.
There you go.
So
You can come back next week now. It's been fixed.
I think if we could get everybody back together next week, that would be awesome. I loved this show. I had a good time. Control, technically, I guess, since it got 2 votes.
This is the winner of 2019.
To hell with your Control.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it was good to have you all on. Thank you so much for being on. And we weren't going to have a show next week, but I guess we are. So check it out. Sometime after Christmas, we will be back on. And have a nice day, guys. Peace.
Brap.